Hello and welcome back. I have been gone for a while again, as I used to be. Welcome over here if you are a new viewer. My name is Emilia. I'm coming from Sweden, where I live with my husband, our 4 kids and our 6 crazy dogs. So you will probably hear them barking and do some other noise. We also do have chickens, ducks and turkeys here on our small farm. So it's not so small though, but the main thing I do is talking about knitting, crocheting, spinning, sometimes sewing, maybe sometime in the future my new find a rabbit hole, my diamond paintings, and also homemaking, home building. I'm not building a new house, but I do renovate my own house, and being a mom, kids with special needs, and all of that stuff. Farm updates. The apple season are not here yet, but I have seen all the flowers on the trees and it's telling me it's going to be a year of the apples once again. Anyways, I do have 3 finished objects this time around. I have been knitting and I have 2 to show. One that I don't think I can pop in a picture of though, because then this podcast will never go up, because I have already recorded 1 episode that will not go up because I'm talking about a picture that I don't have of that one. The finished object that I do have is, of course, first of all, my grandmother's cardigan that she made. She made all the pieces except the collarband, neckband. So it's finished and it's something on it. And I'm so pleased that it finished. It's almost finished though, I should say, because I'm waiting for a new ball of yarn to arrive, because I made a decision of I can actually put it on. I will not stand up because then I'm gonna probably tip the camera over, because you are sitting on a suitcase right now. So I will see if I can back up in the sofa a bit without hurting myself as bad. So something like this it turned out, and yeah, it's way too big for me. But it doesn't matter because she made it, I finished it, and I will keep this and I will use it. So the thing that's not actually finished, and here I totally did a brain fart deluxe, because I ran out of yarn. I was actually losing the yarn chicken race, so I will have it the right edge. When I was casting off, I didn't finish it to the finish line. So I decided, oh well, I will just rip this back 1 row, and as you see, I shouldn't even attempt to do it. This is Drops brushed alpaca, and when I tried to rip 1 row off, it braked, and it braked. So I ended over here and have actually fixed this piece, so I will just saw that ending a little bit. I have already sewn that end in. I always cut this one when I block this. I have not blocked this yet. And then I decided to put the other live stitches on another piece of yarn. And why did I choose to pick another mohair yarn that also so sticky? Sometimes I get so tired of myself, so yeah. Anyways, I'm waiting for a new ball of yarn so I can finish this little piece off, and it will probably arrive today or tomorrow, and then I will finish this little edge off, and then I will block it, but I will take a picture of it before and pop it in here so this episode can go up. She knitted this one in pieces, so I sewn it together, and I love the lace and cabling over here. And she cannot remember that she have using a certain pattern. She was thinking about she probably have taken a little bit different pieces of pattern and make her own like she used to do. But this is the only garment I have after my grandma that's not socks, so this I will keep. So that's finished object number 1. Then we have the most horrible project I have ever done for a very, very, very long time. And it's not the project itself, it's the yarn. And I need to learn to say no to my youngest daughter, Alva, because it would save me so much headache, I will say. So me and my husband, we was to dollar store, and I was searching for some cleaning tools, I think. Yeah, I was not there for purchase yarn anyway. But Alva, of course, was with me. And oh my goodness, she's finding this basket with pink fluffy yarn. And she had told me maybe a week before or something, she was watching some Barbie movies. Not the new one, not the real, the not cartoon ones, the old ones movies. And in one of these, Barbie's going to Paris and she's wearing an oversized cardigan. And Alva really wanted one, and she asked me if I can knit her one. And I told her, yes, we can look at yarn and we order some. But she finding this basket with this pink fluffy yarn in some type of acrylic, I think. I didn't even read the label. And I was looking at it and said, Alva, should we just order it instead so we can have some good yarn? No, she really wanted this type. So here it is. Her big oversized cardigan, and she have already stained it with blueberries. We have some glitter glue. She's using this a lot. But today it's way too hot outside, so she had this at home, and I do not dare to wash this one, because when I was knitting this, I can say, oh my goodness, every 2 or 3 meters or so, the fluff, not the thread, but the fluff around the thread was coming loose. So I have literally knit and rip back, knit and rip back, and added in new pieces of yarn all the time. I think I have actually thrown away a whole skein, 100 gram skein of this yarn that literally just is sewing thread. because all of this fluff, horrible fluff, is falling off. And I'm so scared that if I wash this, it's just gonna be sewing thread instead of this fluff. It was totally the worst yarn ever I have been working with. So never again. And it squeaked all the time. But the pattern, I have chosen to use the harvest cardigan, and I have added a lot of stitches in the width of it to make it oversized. It's quite much oversized for her, but I was thinking when I started this, we was in the middle of spring, it started to get hot, so she need to be able to use it in an oversized manner in the fall. So I did it a little bit bigger and necessary, but she loves it. She loves it. She using it all the time. And here we have some glitter glue. But it is what it is. She's still in kindergarten for 2 weeks. Then she is leaving kindergarten and starting school. So anyway, I have decided that I will order in some pink boucle yarn and make her a beautiful oversize like this in really good quality of yarn that I can feel comfortable to wash. So she can have that one instead. But she can, of course she will use this one too. That's Alva. The third finished object I have made is my slipover. The pattern was Ruth. I find it in my handbag that I had in my car. Why I have put it in my bag, I don't know, because it was not with the knitting though. But I will pop in a picture how the pattern is looking so you can see. As I said, I do not have a picture. I will try to make one, but if it's not a picture here, you know I failed. Because, of course, I bought a blouse to that one, and I finished the slipover. I blocked it and everything like that. I took a hanger and the blouse and the slipover exactly as I had pictured it in my head, that this is the way I'm gonna use it. And I hanged it out on my patio, and the moment later it was gone. Oh my goodness, it was gone. And I said to my husband, oh well, I should see who's using it tomorrow morning. And sure enough, my mom had it. And she can have it, because I was planning to have this particular outfit for one occasion. That occasion have already passed, and for notice, I won that occasion. If you know, you know. So, yeah, I have no purpose for it. I'm not a slipover person anyways, and not a blouse person anyways. And so, she using it, she have using it 3 days in a row now. And it's fitting her so well. She is so damn pretty in green. Green is absolute her best color on her, so I'm glad she liked it. So I'm so happy about that. But anyway, I lost a piece again, like everything I knit for myself that end up in my mom's wardrobe. But I take it like a compliment, I think, because that means she likes what I'm doing. And yeah. So that's all for my finished object. As you see, I have been able to knit a little bit more. The biggest reason for that is that I have found a way around my hand again, and the solution this time is to just have my arm flat in my lap, that I have full support under my underarm, and just using my hand. If I do not have full support under my underarm, it's starting to cramp I losing all the strength in it and all of that stuff. So yeah, it is what it is. But I do also have started a new project. You see, I'm back to the knitting. Life without knitting is not a life, if you ask me. I have started a sweater for Alva. A new sweater. And this little story began when my youngest son was turning 8, the 20th of March. His aunt, my husband's sister, gave him a store-bought sweater that was knitting in half fisherman's rib. It's machine made, of course. I will just pause and let the dogs out. I almost said a bad word. So, machine made sweater. And Alva really wanted one. But she wanted something more colorful. Because that sweater he got, it was white with brown speckles. So I told her we can make one. And I had all of this yarn that I ripped out of my garden mauler that I decided to frog. So I have just started the fade, and I have no pattern for this one. And this have been a trial and error, I would say. I had measurement for her before Christmas for an other sweater I made her. I think I have showed it before. And so I started to pick up 82 stitches for the neckline. And tried it for the collar. And realized quite quick that that little girl had been growing, and she had been growing a lot. So I ripped it off and started again, and we ended up with 92 stitches on 2.75 millimeter needles. And then I go along and thought maybe I should do a rounded yoke. So that was my first thinking. So I made the increases and realized this is not looking good at all. So I ripped it out again, started over, and decided for a raglan increase instead. Said and done. And when I come as this far or something, I decided, no, I want to raise the back a bit. So I ripped it out again and started and made some short rows. But now I think I got it. So we will see how this will end, and I will show you in my next episode that I hope in coming really soon. So this is my work in progress now. I have not started anything else. I'm mainly working on this. That's because of my hand, and that's because of I don't have the brain space to work on other project right now. And yeah, long story short, that's the reason. So we also have this one, but this I working on once a month, and it's time now. This is my blanket that I was talking about in the last episode, that I was asking if I should go with a solid square or not a solid square. As you see, I decided to do a solid square and go one round around it. So yeah, and this blanket is going to be made of all of my Patreon mini skeins from a homespun house. So every month I get 3 mini skeins in my mailbox, and they go straight into this one. So it's going to be a long-term project. I have no clue how big this is gonna be in the end. I cannot even tell you what this square is named, what pattern it is, because this square I have known for so long and I can't do it by heart, so I don't have a pattern to look at. Yeah, you can probably find it somewhere, but it's a quite easy square to do. So that's coming along. The future will tell how big it will be. So maybe it's going to cover my whole house in the end. So that's the 2 project I'm working on. That one just once a month though. That's fair. It's don't even count because it's a blanket. But then I decided that I need to organize my wardrobe a bit. It is spring, soon summer. Today I'm wearing shorts on, and I don't even know why I have this one on. Maybe because it's colder inside than outside. We have actually 20 degrees Celsius outside already, so it's going to be hot today. We have had a really cold spring, so it's just the 2 last weeks that have been something in the harder way. But anyway, I decided it's time to organizing and declutter my wardrobe a little bit, sending some clothes out for charity and stuff like that. You know what I mean. So, said and done. And what do you think I'm finding in my wardrobe? I'm finding a lot of yarn. To be honest, probably an immense quantity of yarn. This is just a little of it. I couldn't fit more into this bag, so I have something on the shelf also. And it is Drops Charisma and Drops Kids Silk, and I don't know. I can seriously don't tell when I purchased this, why I purchased it, what project was it meant to be. But probably a men's sweater for my husband or for my oldest son. Probably for my husband, because it's a lot of yarn, and my oldest son, yes, he is very tall, but he's very slim. My husband is also tall, but not that tall, but he's huge. His shoulder is, he's so broad over his shoulder. Oh my goodness. So when I doing a sweater for him, I need to start with, if we're going sewing wise, I would say I need to start with at least 4XL, and then I had to slim down to 1L because his shoulder is big. But anyway, said and done. It don't have any project anymore. So I decided, after I have finished Alba's sweater, I will do myself a tunic or a long sweater. I'm still debating a little bit between a tunic or a long sweater. I have been looking at one pattern. I will pop it in over here so you can say if I would go for that one or if I should find something else. Because I really want a tunic or long sweater. Something that is hidden right under my bum. So that's one planning project I have in mind. And that's all for the making. Right now. I don't have so much more ideas for now. It has been stressful, I would say. It has been stressful spring and things like that. This year it's not my year. So making wise, that was all. And if you are just here from the making and don't want to hear a life update what have been going on since I disappeared again from the internet university, yeah, I thank you for being here for now. If you will stick, this can be a little bit of a longer story. So anyways, the reason I have been gone is because this whole damn spring, beginning of spring, have been a total mess. I'm so over this year and I'm so exhausted, so you cannot believe it. Everything started 2 days before Dave turned 16, I got a call from school that is telling me that Victory is my youngest son, if you are a new viewer, and he has Asperger's, that is on the autism spectrum, and also severe ADHD. We have had a lot of struggle before to make him wanting to go to school and stuff like that. I will come back to that really soon. But I got a call from school telling me that someone had thrown a rock in Victory's face and he was bleeding quite a bit. So I threw myself in the car and I, of course, get over that. It takes me between 8 or 5 minutes depending on traffic. And when I'm coming to school and I seeing him, he's covered in blood. Oh my goodness, have you poured all over him? And he had a white shirt on, and he had white linen pants on. So you can think yourself, it's so visible too. And one of his biggest fear is just blood. He has bugs and spiders, bloods, heights, and needles. That's his 4 biggest fear he got, and it's a very severe fear, so much severe that we actually have been going to therapist to work with them. So anyway, do you see one of them? I have mentioned one of them already have happened. He's bleeding, he's panicking, and Victory has glasses. And my first thing that going through my head when I'm seeing him, oh my goodness, because they don't tell me where the injury is. It's around his eye, somewhere around his eye, because he's sitting with a towel over his face, so I can see it had been pouring down on this side and all the way down to his shoes. And the first thing I was thinking of, have the rock hit his glasses? Have he a lot of glass shattering around or in his eye? But then I see he is actually sitting with his other hand a little bit behind his back and holding his glasses. His glasses is still intact, but a lot of scraping, because the rock had hit him straight this way, so that he had cut up on his eyebrow. I will pop in a picture. This is after cleaning him up a bit on the medicine room. So if you are a little bit sensitive to injuries and stuff like that, maybe you want to look away for a little bit. But it's not so horrible, but you can see the result of the injury, how big it went. And I was devastated when I came to school, because they told me he had been sitting here for 20 minutes. 20 minutes of panic. That was my biggest irritation moment, I think I would say. I don't know, maybe I overreacted, but as a former teacher for kids with special needs, we had always a say to each other that if something happens with this kid, they have their own box of comfort zones. You cannot go in that comfort zone if you're not his type of person. He has a few. He has me, his dad, his bigger sister and brother, and also his grandmas, his granddads, his aunts, and the closest one. He don't have a person at school that he actually feels that comfortable with, that can comfort him. Because if you are not in his little comfort zone box, if you touch him, he's going to be furious, because he don't like to be touched on, hugs or stuff like that. He don't like it, so don't do it. And They know that at school. So I was very disappointed that they didn't call me straight away, because they had been notified that if something happened to him, they have to call me or my husband straight away. So yeah, and it doesn't matter if your kids have a special need. If something happened to your kids, you should call the parents or the guardians straight away. That's just it. That's just it. But anyway, I just wanted to let that out. It had been bothering me. We take him to the emergency room, and he was crying the whole time in the car, panicking. It's blood everywhere, it's blood everywhere. He's just screaming for me, and I want my daddy, I want my daddy. As my husband is a truck driver, he can be somewhere in Sweden. But anyways, I calling him and he's nearby. He is just literally dropping everything, taking his truck straight to the emergency room, meet us up in the room, and they can go along with stitching him together, stitch him back into one piece. So my husband is a star when it comes to the kids, because if anything happens, it doesn't matter where he is, he's going to drop and everything and just go straight back home to the kids. And my kids know that, I know that, so everything turned out quite good. But now we are back here again with I don't want to go to school, because I don't know why I got a rock thrown in my face. Because it was not a reason. It was another pair of kids that were playing together. Something happened between those two kids. Victory and his best friend is playing a little bit further away, but something is happening between the two other kids. This is what the teacher who was outside told me, that was standing by them. And suddenly one of the other boys of these two decided to throw a rock, and unfortunately he threw the rock right where Victor was standing. So yeah, and he is not buying that reason, that it's not, you cannot get an explanation, because this was not meant to happen. It was an accident. These things can happen if you throw rocks, though. Very important to talk with the kids that we are not throwing rocks and things like that. Nobody should get a rock thrown in their face. But in the long term, it was an accident, a horrible accident. But he wanted to know just why, and I cannot give him the reason why. And he always starting to blame himself and ask, what did he do wrong? We are back in that loop again, that loop that was in the beginning of this school year, this fall, that was when he was starting. And then he find a best friend, and everything turned out so good. We had no more problems in the morning. He was literally in the beginning of fall, before he met this new friend that he is so tight with. He was literally holding around my arms and was screaming and crying. He didn't want to go. He didn't feel secure. He was so worried and he was so anxious to go. So I seriously had big bruises on my arm, so damn hard he held on to me, of pure, I want to say fear, but not fear, but just this worry. He cannot sort out this thing with so many people he don't know, so many grown-ups that he don't know. This is badly something that is with his special need to do with the autism spectrum, that he don't like a lot of people. He really wants small groups and his own space. So but after he's met this friend, as I said, they become really, really, really tight. And everything has gone so smooth to this accident happened. Now we have some horrible mornings again. But I will say, the second we is coming to school and he see his friend, everything disappears. So even though it's a harder time in the mornings, but when we coming over there, everything is going away. So I'm happy for that. I really, really, really are. But the morning can be very stressful and very hard to manage with all the kids. Now I'm very thankful that I have 2 teenagers. They are very much doing everything themselves. They are getting ready, eating breakfast and all of that. They are making their own breakfast and all of that. So it's just Victory and Alva I have to tend to in the mornings. The other kids, they are just ready when it's time to go. So anyway. So with that said, then Dave's birthday is coming up the 2 days after this, and he turned 16 and he is ending this first term of his school life. Now it's time for the adulthood to begin. So now he's going to the gymnasium this fall. Here in Sweden we have all these education lines that you can choose from. Some of them are preparing for work straight after this 3 years you're going to the gymnasium. Some other of them are preparing for the university or the university. So, or college, that depends how you want to say it. We don't have college here in Sweden. We have universities or people's school it's called. So anyways, he had decided to go straight in my husband's footsteps. So now I'm not gonna see my husband and I'm not gonna see my oldest son, because he's also going to be a truck driver. Did I get surprised? No. He has said that to me since he was a very, very, very little boy. So he's following his dreams. So it feels strange that he's leaving that we call the ground school here in Sweden. It's a school system that every kid needs to go to. We have something that call school something. It is our school system. We cannot choose to homeschool them. We cannot choose to other schools or stuff like that. That community you are living in, they have the community school. Every kid's going there. That's end of story. So now he's leaving it, and it feels strange. It's been almost 10 years. And Alva is leaving kindergarten and starting school this fall. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I digress. So he had a beautiful 16th birthday. We had so much fun. And he had all his boyfriends over here, and they ate pizza, they had game nights, and the house was full of life. And I love it. The more kids, the better. No, I will not have any more kids by my own. I have one, that's good enough, but I love when they have their friends over and stuff like that. So, that, long story short. Then we are coming to Victory's birthday. He had also a very good 8 years birthday. And he like it small when it's just our families together with his aunties and his grandmas and granddads and stuff like that. So it's very small. It's not no friends, no nothing like that. It's just the way he prefer it. But the first week Mars, it's my birthday, and I just realized that I'm so old. I'm so old. So, but I had a good birthday too. I made a cake and I got the flu. So it was a very welcome birthday, but I got a hot cup of coffee that morning that I could drink in peace and quiet. So I was happy about that. If you're a mom to, I think if you just are a mom to one kid, you know what I'm meaning when I'm saying it is a blessing to drink your coffee hot in the morning. Anyway, then we are going into April, and I'm struggling with Victory on the mornings and all of that stuff. And also a lot of things are going on around this gymnasium line choosing for Dave, and it's very much school meetings and preparing Alva for school and then meeting with the school she's going to go to, and yeah, I can go on forever about it. It was quite stressful. One morning, my husband is calling in the morning. As I said, he's a truck driver. He's leaving home already with in 4 or 5 in the morning, so he's long gone when I going up with the kids. And I was not thinking so much about it. He don't used to call me in the morning if he not have forgot his lunchbox at home, or his lunch, so he want me to take it with me or just meeting him off somewhere and drop it off to him. So my oldest son is actually answering the phone, put him on speaker, and I heard the most devastating, painful sound in my husband's voice. And he's telling me that he's trapped, and his finger is off. And my heart just skip a beat. I get so much panic because his truck had broke down and he needed to fix something on it, and he has then get stuck with his little finger so badly that he literally thought that he had torn off the whole finger, and he was in so much pain. And in my mind, when he said he was trapped, he mean that he couldn't take himself away from the place he was, because the truck, as I said, had broke down and he was at the workshop all alone. He is then 25-30 minutes away from me, and nobody else is there. I said all along, so yeah, quite obvious no one else was there. And he cannot go anywhere because it's a very remote area, and his car, his personal car, is standing at the company's driveway, and that's a long way to go. And in my mind, he's stuck with his finger. He's literally stuck, but he wasn't because he was loose though. And our emergency at the ambulance was telling him, but you can take yourself to the emergency room. What a rude thing to do, because he is stuck there. It's 30 minutes with a car to the emergency room from the area he is on, because the emergency room is in the area where I was to drop off the kids at school. So you got a point there. And he was bleeding a lot, I would say. So the first thing I was thinking here in my brain when he was calling, I have never dropped off kids so fast in my entire life, and still I need to manage my oldest son, because I see his color in his eyes just fainted away. He was all flashed white, and I almost thought that he was going to faint, but he didn't. And I tell him, go to school, keep your cell phone on, and I will message your teacher and tell him that you need your cell phone today. And I will call you as fast as I know something, because my husband, their dad, is everything for the kids. Everything. And he is the strong one. To hear him in so much pain, I think all of us was quite scared, I would say, or frightened. So yeah, anyway, he managed to get one of his bosses to come and pick him up and rushed him to the emergency room. The second, I don't want to know what the speeding on that car was up to. But in the same second that I was stepping my foot into the emergency room, my husband and his boss was coming there. So it went quite fast, I would say. And I see my husband's boss, I see my husband, and both of them looking like ghosts. So he has shown his husband his finger. Oh my goodness, you should not do that. I do not gonna pop in a picture of him. I will not, because it was a mess, I would say. He had literally crushed the entire finger, but good thing is he didn't lose the finger. But he was in a lot of pain, and I was furious of our emergency room here. It's a little bit of a healthcare center thing like that. We just have this emergency room. They can stitch together, they can do x-rays, they can put plastic on and stuff like that. But they do not do surgeries and stuff like that. Then we need to go to Uppsala, and that is almost 80 kilometers away from me. So anyway, so my first thinking was that we are going to Uppsala to a hand surgeon. But they didn't send him there. They stitched him up, and I told them at least 5-6 times that, you know, he had a lot of hydraulic oil in that wound. You cannot stitch it into his body. But he did. And it didn't turn out great, I would say. It started a week. My husband was happy though, because he didn't need to go to Uppsala, and he could go back home with very, very strong painkillers, because he has not just crushed the flesh, he has also crushed the whole bone in his little finger and all the way down to here. But a week passed, and he's going to attend this wounds and going to have new bandage and cleaned up and all of that. So we're going back to the health center over here, and the thing I was warning them for had happened. So all of this area has turned black. What should I say? So after a very angry wife, and a very angry wife that actually threatened her husband to take the frying pan and hit him in the head if he don't go with me to Uppsala to the hand surgeon, we ended up at the hand surgeon, and we had to go all to the second week in May to the hand surgeon once a week and take off dead tissue. And this is the good part of it, he still have his whole finger. I thought they will take off at least this part of the finger, but they didn't have to. So now he's back at work again. I have been home on sick leave, so I have a little bit of relief with Victory in the mornings, and it have been strange to actually share the everyday mornings with him and all of that stuff. But it have been, I'm so grateful for it, because he knows the struggles I can have in the morning with the kids, and also see how much work it goes into run a family. So yeah, everything turned out great. He still have his fracture left. It have not healed completely, but he's back at work and we're back to all the routines again. But oh my, what a spring, what a spring. And he had been on so much painkillers, so he had not been allowed to drive a car. So every time he was needed to go to the hand surgeon, I was needed to take him. So it was very switched places, I would say, because he used to take me to the surgeries and doctor appointments because I used to be on very strong medication after my shoulder thingy stuff. If you're a new viewer, go back to my first episode, my first ever episode. There I explain what's happening. Because, my goodness. So he has always been my rock. He is the wall of concrete that I can lean on. He's the strongest person I know, and also the calmest person. So when he was calling me and was in so much pain, it was so heartbreaking for me because it was not right. It was not right. And yeah, I think somewhere in all of this process of he healing and being at home, we have been talking a lot about stuff, and I think both me and him have been more humble. Is humble really the right word? I don't know. But we have been more understanding, maybe I should say, to each other. I think we have always had a very good and great and fun relationship, he and me. Oh my goodness, sarcasm is our love language. Stuff like that. We have been friends all our lives. So, but something good came out of this horrible spring. We have been starting to work around Victory in another type of way. We have new tools around him. My husband is more involved in the preparing for the next day, even though he works now with just taking the clothes out for him and choosing and telling Victory. He had been so hard on his boss now and tell his boss that now I need to pick my kids up at least for 4 days a week. Because he is actually ending before the kids are ending in school, because he's starting so early in the morning. But he has been working a lot of overtime, and not his bosses, but the company he's delivering building materials from, they are renting him and his car, are not realizing that they are renting his car and him for only 8.5 hours. So they think he can work as many hours as he can, but he can't. And he has been really hard with the help from his boss, from his company that he's working for, the person who owns the car and the employments of my husband, have actually set down the foot and told them that this is how it looks like. He has kids. He works these hours, that's what you are renting him for, and then he's going home to pick up his kids. And that has been a huge change for Victory, that he had so much more time with his dad, and that's daddy's little boy. I cannot lie, that's daddy's boy. And it has been so great, even though we had these struggles in the morning still, but it's so many good things are coming out from this horrible thing. So yeah, maybe this summer will be good. Maybe this summer will be good. We're actually talking about going away, the whole family, this summer for the first time. that we are going away for a longer trip, not to my other house. That's almost like home for the kids. They would go every now and then, but going away like to one of the summer bathing lands or something like that. We shall see, but we're planning on it to go away for a bit, for a week or so, and I think the kids would like that. I would certainly not like that, but what do you don't do for your kids? But anyways, a brief farm update. Everything is going good. The potatoes is in the ground. Everything is starting to bloom. The eggs that are going to hatch this time of year is in the incubator. They are going good. This year I'm only going to hatch turkey eggs from new turkeys. Not any more chickens this year, and not any more ducks. So it's only turkeys this year. So if you are following me on Instagram, I will probably update you how that project is going. So with that said, now I will go outside with a hot cup of coffee and do absolutely nothing before the kids are coming home. And of course my knitting is going with me. So I hope to see you in the next one. I hope you stay this long and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.